Hi everyone, my name is Wanjin and welcome to Now What, a monthly video tutorial to help you get the most out of the classes you take here at TXRX Labs. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to apply a resin finish to your FDM 3D printed part. This technique will surely come in handy after you've taken a 3D Printing 1 class here at the lab and ask yourself, now what? First, let's talk about safety. Anytime you're working with a resin, you need to be in a well-ventilated area. You should also be wearing your safety goggles and nitrile gloves. And now let's get our materials. You'll be needing mixing cups, mixing sticks, pigment if you would like your resin to have a color in them, aluminum foil, disposable foam brush, a wax oil mixture, your 3D printed part, and a 2-part finishing resin. I'm using XTC3D, but any finishing resin should work. First, we need to prepare our aluminum foil surface. I'm simply folding over the corners to make a boat. This is so that when we pour our resin in here, the increased surface area will give us more working time with the resin. With that prepared, I'm going to pour my epoxy resin into these mixing cups. For this particular one, the ratio is 2A to 1B. So I'm going to do 20 milliliters of A right here. This is where those meniscus reading skills from high school will come in handy. Read it at eye level so you get an accurate reading of the volume. And 10 milliliters of part B. Now this part is optional. I'm going to mix in some pigment to my part A. If you're doing this, make sure to put it in one part of your resin before you mix both of them together. I'm thoroughly mixing this pigment into part A before I mix it together with part B. It looks like it has that nice sheen I'm looking for, so I will mix the two resin together and thoroughly mix again. A 2-part epoxy finish greatly strengthens your 3D printed part by both filling in the extrusion lines as well as helping the layers adhere to each other better. Now that this is nice and mixed, I'm going to pour it into my aluminum foil boat that I made earlier. Now I'm going to put a little bit of wax and oil onto the surface that I'm going to be setting down my 3D printed part. This is to prevent the resin from sticking to the surface. Okay, I'm ready to paint my 3D printed part. So this right here is a fan shroud for another 3D printer. It could really benefit from a resin finish because that will make sure, the resin finish will ensure that it is airtight. So I'm just using my little brush. And the key here is light dabs. We want to avoid globs and make sure we're applying in a thin, even layer. You'll notice the resin is also evening out and filling in the FDM layer lines. So when this cures, this part will be nice and smooth. I'm going to set it down here on the pre-oiled aluminum foil. Now I'm going to finish this part. This is a sculptural piece, and I'm hoping that this resin finish will make it even glossier and bring out the nice 3D printed knot. If you don't think one coat is enough, you can always apply a second coat after the first coat cures for about an hour or two. I'm just really trying to apply it evenly here and avoid the globbing I was talking about earlier. This takes about 24 hours to cure.